everyone. This is Dr. Shiv Bajaj. I'm the founder of Back to Health as well as a chiropractic physician. Welcome to our new home. This is at R43GK1, and while I've for many years treated lots of patients for back pain, neck pain, and we've given a lot of passive care manually, it was time to move into the new century and work with active care. So this is our rehab facility where we've introduced lots of new cutting-edge technology and hopefully making a big difference in the neuro rehab space as well as sports orthopedic rehab. The journey really starts with my father being diagnosed with Parkinson's, about 8 years ago, and seeing him struggle in finding appropriate care. Even though I was a chiropractor and I treated orthopedic problems and movement issues, the challenge of having appropriate rehabilitation services and ways to measure and test the patients out as to what gains we are giving them rather than just simple home exercises. I had this keen desire to set something really cutting edge. And so, I would have to say that Ravi from Mission Walk has been an inspiration in the neuro rehab space, and we both have partnered into bringing again, cutting-edge technology as well as amazing patient care, to the front. So between his skill and our facility and technology, I think we're going to change the rehab space and bring neuro rehab to another new frontier. So I'd like to introduce you to our first device, the DD Robotech Pro system from Switzerland. So it's really an incredible device because what it does is it trains your lower extremity, so your legs. Along with that, it helps us challenge both sides of the brain. So what we do with a device like this is that we can obviously go into testing. We can check what the power of your leg is, what the coordination of both your legs are, where your joints are in position, whether it's bent to a certain extent, and your awareness of that. But also for a lot of patients who have strokes, who have lost certain brain function, that we can actually help them coordinate their movements between the left and the right side of their body, similarly from the right to the left. And we can actually challenge that by having mirror image type of work happening with a device like this. The really cool part about this device and what is really beneficial for patients is that while we have assessments that can be done to give us objective markers, it also has features to train specific deficits. So once we do the test and we see there is a deficit, we can put a patient through very specific drills and exercises that can help us improve those deficits, and we can actually re-challenge the patient in being able to, of course, see the improvements. Now, along with that, what really excited me about the DD Robotics system is that it is also got extra games. Now, extra games are ways that we make it interesting for the patient, that it doesn't feel monotonous in order for you to do your exercises. It doesn't seem like a chore anymore because there are tons of games on it. There's tennis, there's cricket, there's skiing, there are different ways for us to actually challenge the patient by understanding their deficits and then putting them through games that will correct those deficits. So it doesn't have to feel like it's a tedious task. It feels like it's a game and you're actually having fun while doing it. And not just that, the DD Robotics system is linked to all other DD Robotics systems around the world, all installations around the world, and we get to see how people are performing. It actually makes it a little competitive too because you get ranks, you get points. So people who are now doing neuro rehab, it's not just that you're coming and exercising, but you're also having that competitive spirit and you're getting to see how people are performing around the world with different exercises. What really excites me further is that we can customize new protocols, and so we have doctors around the world or clinics around the world that are coming up with new protocols on a daily basis that are benefiting their patients in different realms. So, whether it's a Parkinson's patient or an MS patient or a post-stroke patient or a CP patient, we are able to see new programs that are coming out day in and day out, and we are able to then incorporate that into our practices because that's what it is. It's about collaborative care. So companies like DD Robotech over here, it's incredible the kind of work they're doing, and while this is a lower extremity protocol, there is another machine which is for the upper body as well. So what we can do is maybe we can look at the screen a little bit over here and see what options we have available to us, and I'll try to run through a few of these things. So you can see we have a feature here called tests. So if we click on that, we can, just log in. So the device as well is fully connected through the internet to the company in their backend, which is in Switzerland, and they're able to see the data that we present to them. Of course, everything is confidential, and it is to your personal account that you will eventually have an app that you can put on your phone, and so all your progress will come to you directly, but we as doctors can also log in through our clinic. But what really works well is that sometimes, we're doing certain tests or we're doing certain assessments, and we can get feedback from the company to tell us that, look, these are the deficits, these are the recommendations we have. So it's really interesting. So if you see the screen here, we have several different programs here. We can check your range of motion of your knees. What is your functional range? We can do position sense, which is where your knee may be placed in a position that you have to remember without having that direct feedback. There's stiffness control. So we'll create an unsteady surface, and then you have to sort of see how you can control that position for yourself. And things like real power or reactive power or negative power, these are all to look for strength in your legs and to see the explosiveness in your legs, right? So we can also go back. So that's from an assessment point of view. Then we have obviously drills. So these are ways to train those deficits. So let's say we found through the test that a patient has a coordination issue, or they have a strength deficit or a power difference, or we want to train certain parts. We can actually go and click on one of those protocols, and now we see that there are different programs that will come up, and we can set how much load a patient wants. So for example, on the current screen, we have actually a minimum of 5-degree angle to 90-degree angle. So we are preventing the patient to be able to go beyond 90 degrees. But if I want to increase it, we can actually make the knee bend even further out. Even from a load point of view, we can start with a 5 kg minimum, but we can go, literally to like 60 kg resistance. And that really is very dynamic for such a device like this. Honestly, by about 45 kilograms of resistance that this device creates, there's a significant amount of training and fatigue that happens. So we don't really need anything more than 60 kgs as resistance. And then of course we can set the sets, reps, how much rest we want the patient to do. So these can be customized, but they're already well-structured programs that are there in the system. And that just makes life easier. It's well documented, and we have very good objective markers of how to execute these programs, right? Along with that, we have so we've seen that there's strength, there's power, there's endurance. We can also go back, and there are workouts that many people have already formed. So if you see, we have lots of different programs. We have knee functional strength, we have neurosymmetry. So for people who've had a stroke, or they don't have good coordination, or they don't have good balance, we can actually have a patient go through programs like these, and you see they're in different sets. They're already pre-programmed. So there's one set, we take a break, we put them through another set, and there's a whole program around it. We can also, along with our workouts, like we did tests, we did drills, we did workouts, we have what we call as extra games. So this is really the cool part. This is where it makes it really interesting and fun for patients, which we always like to show. So you can see, like, this is currently on a game that we may put. Oops. So we can see that we can set this. Let's put it as a light intensity, amateur. Yeah, so I think this is good. We're one player, and we try to start that out. So what this does is we could compete against other people in different organizations or different clinics. We could do it against each other within the same organization. So patients of our clinic versus our other location where we will set this up as well. So you can see we have different levels, we have different games. we can do skiing, we can play some ball, and there are different benefits to that, because each of these games are catering to a specific task. So if there's a coordination problem, we will choose games that help us with coordination, from easy to very, very challenging. So if you want to improve your score and you want to see changes, then we can really challenge you. So once you do well at level 1, we can take you to level 2, to level 3, and it can get quite challenging. Even some of the best people with ideal coordination can improve their scores, not just people who have deficits. So this device is amazing for the neuro rehab space, but it's also incredible when it comes to sports performance and athletes, and improving their performance in their sport. So it's not just for neuro rehab or injuries. We also use this for patients with orthopedic problems who have ACL injuries or knee surgeries, and they're recovering out of that. So we have different phases and different programs for them. So all in all, it really helps you strengthen your lower extremity. It helps you with coordination, position sense, and how to activate both your legs together. And the wonderful part is that we can make it synchronized with how we activate the brain. So activating the left and the right hemisphere together. So when we have deficits, obviously it gets highlighted excessively, but even from a point of view of performance for an athlete, it can be, something that makes a huge difference and improves their performance.